are live. Welcome everybody. It's Isabel here, and today I'm going to share with you how to get rid of the imposter syndrome. And I want to start by saying that imposter syndrome is something that affects us all, men and women. And when we go through our journey in life or in business, it can be really, it can really impact our life and our business and can really stop us on our journey. So today I want to share with you 5 types of imposter syndrome. I didn't come up with them. Actually, it was Dr. Valerie Young. But when I describe them, you might resonate with some of them. Okay, you might resonate with some of the things that happen for you in your life, and you might resonate with one type or another. And imposter syndrome, I'm not sure what is your definition of imposter syndrome, but it's that feeling that we experience that we are failures. So for some reason we feel that we are not competent enough, or we are inadequate, and we feel that even if you have successes in your life, you still feel like this. So it seems like it's never enough. So the 5 types of imposter syndrome, and Dr. Valerie Young came up with them, is the perfectionist. So you might recognize this one. So it's when you have really high expectations of yourself. So you want everything to be perfect before launching your new course or your product. So you want to make sure that everything is working perfectly before launching it. And so there must not be room for mistakes from the perspective of the perfectionist. And actually this can stop us, this will stop us on our journey, because you probably experience this. If you are always waiting for something to be perfect, it's never perfect, because you are a perfectionist and it's not going to be out there. So, and I'll come later how we can overcome this, but know that how you overcome this is very much connected with your personal experience and your own beliefs. So we'll give some tips, generic tips, but when I'm working with students, we go much deeper, and I focus what's going on for them, what are the beliefs that they have that maybe they got from when they were growing up. So usually are unconscious beliefs, but it's going to be helpful for you very much so. So the second one, the type is the expert. So the need to know it all. And you can recognize this by, if you have friends or even yourself, if you feel that need to get that other course and do one more course and have another qualification, another certification, it never seems enough. And I resonate with this as well, because I used to feel like that. So it kind of feels that you never know enough to be out there and to maybe be teaching people or helping them in on their business. So you need more qualifications. And also one thing that is particular is with this type is that you might be afraid, or you might not ask questions, because you have this fear that you might seem that you don't know everything, you're not expert, so you prefer to be quiet and not ask. So this is very curious. The third one is the natural genius. Natural genius is you probably have never had to work really hard throughout life. I mean, things come up easily for you because maybe you have a lot of skills. But when you get to maybe you want to practice something new, maybe it's a new business, and you have to work a little bit harder, or you're struggling with something that feels super uncomfortable, and you start to think, okay, actually I'm not that competent and I'm a failure. So that's the other type of imposter syndrome. So if you resonate with this, you might notice, you might remember how it feels for you when you struggle with, or you have to work a little bit harder to figure it out something. And then there's the other type, the number 4, soloists. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, solist. So which was those people who do it all alone. So they want to do it all. So they want to do everything alone. They feel bad about asking for help, because if they ask for help, they perceive themselves as being a failure or a fraud, because they need to ask for help. So meaning that they feel that they're a failure or they're not good enough. And then the last one is the superwoman or superman, because this happens both to men and women, is the superwoman. So want to push really hard and want to succeed 100% in all areas of their life. So they are usually, you might have heard the overachiever term as well. So they're pushing really hard because they feel they need to be really, really good at everything they do and succeed in all areas of their life. So if you resonate with any of these, please let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable enough to share. I already shared that for me, definitely, I resonate with a few of them, and this is, and some of them I've been working more than the other. So you might tend to resonate more to one than the other, or you might resonate, many different ones. And one thing that is really important, so I would say actually the first step is to acknowledge and recognize that this is happening for you. So, and what is the reaction? So what is the reaction for you? So if you connect with some of these types, how do you react? Do you feel uncomfortable when you have to ask for help? Do you tend to not put your programs or services out there because you want everything to be perfect? Or do you feel that you're never ready to start coaching people because you don't have enough qualifications? And then think about, first acknowledge that, recognize that, and then think about, how is this stopping you in your life right now? How is it hindering you? And write this down as well. So make sure that you know exactly how this is stopping you and how is it hindering you. Because when you start to recognize, you can start to change. So for example, if you are a perfectionist, maybe you have to practice putting your things out there when they are not ready. So we used to say a few years ago, when I was doing my first business and marketing coach, actually the mentor, the coach, she used to say to us 7 out of 10 because of that. So when it's from 1 to 10, if it's like 7, that's it, it's good to go. So either you can grab this and use it for yourself, or something similar that really is going to push you to put out there, and you start to get comfortable with putting things out there even though they are not perfect. But the way that like I said, are just some tips and tricks that can help you maybe to start to get out of your own way. But I would say that it's really important that you understand why they are there in the first place and where did they come from. So for my students, we go a little bit deeper and we understand exactly what is the root cause. And if you are an expert, there is a point that you need to recognize that you already know enough, and then maybe start to put yourself out there as well. And the other thing, the other one that I really resonate with, and I noticed this with many women, is the superwoman. Wanting to do it all. I'm good to do it all alone. I want to do it alone, and I don't need help. And it's not that. Sometimes we don't even recognize that we are doing that, and we don't even recognize that it's really hard to ask for help because we are not aware. That's why I'm saying that acknowledging and recognizing is the first step. Because for me, when I recognized that actually it was hard to ask for help, it was then easier to start asking for help. When I started to recognize that, actually, I feel really uncomfortable about asking for help. Why is this so? And I started to ask and understand where was this coming from. And then I started to change and shift that around. So when I noticed that actually I was feeling overwhelmed and maybe I needed a little bit help, I practice asking for help. So I hope this is making sense. I hope this resonates with you. Let me know in the comments if this makes sense, if it was helpful. It's always nice to know. It's always nice to know who is out there also watching and learning. And the more we talk about this and the more we share, I think the more we can also learn with each other. So this is actually really fun. So see it as a fun thing to do, to understand more about yourself and your reactions, because from that point, when we actually take things a little bit lighter, it's much easier to change. So don't take things seriously. Have fun, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Let me know in the comments. I'm Isabel, holistic coach, yoga teacher, and energy healer. So make sure to connect with me if you have any questions. Bye for now.